Once upon a time, in a small village lived a cheerful little boy named Tico. One day he goes to a jungle where he meets a wise old man who tells him about a secret magical pot. Tico goes in the deep jungle to find the secret magical pot. At last, he finds an old clay pot with strange golden patterns swirling around its surface. He carefully brushed off the dirt and lifted the pot. A deep, warm voice echoed from inside. "Oh, kind boy who has set me free, what do you wish? But beware, this pot grants not what you want, but what you need." Excited, Tico takes the pot to his home. He thought about what to wish for, he whispered. "I wish for food, so my mother never has to worry again." The pot hummed and rattled, and it bubbled over with warm, delicious noodles. Fragrant steam filled the air. Tico couldn't believe it. From that day on, whenever the family was hungry, the magic pot would fill itself with the most wonderful meals. But one day, a greedy man from the village, jealous of Tico's magical pot, snuck into his home and grabbed it. He shook it, demanding, "Give me gold, give me jewels." The pot trembled. Then, poof, it overflowed with porridge. He ran, slipping and tumbling as the magic pot chased him, pouring more porridge at his feet. The whole village laughed, and the man returned the pot, soaked and embarrassed. Tico smiled and placed the pot back on the kitchen shelf. He had learned an important lesson. Magic isn't about greed. It's about kindness, sharing, and helping those in need. After that, villagers in need would come, and Tico happily shared food with them. Tico and his magic pot continued to bring warmth and joy to his village. Tico, a curious young boy, walks home, happily peeling and eating a juicy orange. He tosses the seeds aside carelessly. On the way, he meets a wise old man. Wise old man, smiling. "Boy, never eat oranges with seeds." Tico laughs. "Why? What's the worst that could happen?" The wise old man chuckles mysteriously and walks away. Tico shrugs, then deliberately swallows a few seeds. The next morning, as he walks into the bathroom, he stares in the mirror. A tiny green branch pokes out of his nostril. He tugs at it. Pop! It stings, but comes out. He sighs in relief. Tico. Phew! That was weird. Tico goes to his school while he was sitting at his desk. Suddenly, a branch sprouts from his nose. He gasps. Another shoots out of his ears. Orange juice squirts everywhere. Suddenly, a huge tree bursts out of Tico's mouth, covering the whole classroom. Oranges dangle everywhere. Desks were trapped in vines. Tico, now a gigantic orange, bounces out of the school and onto the street. Tico, panicking. "I don't want to be an orange." Slams into a tree. Everything goes black. Tico gasps awake in his bed, drenched in sweat. He touches his nose, normal. He sighs in relief. Tico, panting. It was just a dream? He remembers the wise old man's advice. Never eat oranges with seeds. He learns that we should not eat what's not meant for eating and always follow elders' advice. Once upon a time, a poor boy named Tico lived with his mother in a village. One day, Tico met a mysterious man in a market who gave him 5 magic beans. His mother, furious, threw the beans out the window. The next morning, a giant beanstalk had grown overnight, reaching high into the sky. Tico climbed it, eager for adventure. At the top, Tico found a magical castle, where a kind giant's wife warned him of her husband, a fearsome giant. Tico, clever and brave, stole a bag of gold coins, a golden hen, and even a magical harp before the giant woke up. But as the giant wakes up, he chased Tico, who was racing down the beanstalk with the harp in hand, and just as the giant reached the bottom, Tico chopped down the beanstalk with an axe. The beanstalk fell, and the giant plummeted from the sky, never to be seen again. With the golden coins, the hen, and the magical harp, Tico and his mother were no longer poor. They lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village of Lumora, people were living a happy life. But one day, a big sea of rats came in the village. Rats scurry everywhere, knocking over baskets, chewing through grain sacks, stealing bread. Villagers chased them with brooms, but the rats just kept coming. One night, Tico, a curious boy, sat by the fireplace, flipping through an old book. His eyes widen as he reads about the Pied Piper. Tico, whispering to himself, excited, he led the rats away with music. He glances at his grandfather's wooden whistle. He wipes off the dust and blows. Toot! It's soft, but promising. Tico climbs onto the village fountain, takes a deep breath, and plays a light, playful melody. The sound floats through the air. Tico keeps playing, stepping forward. The rats scurry after him. He led them down the road, past the fields, toward the deep jungle. The villagers watched in stunned silence as the last rat vanished into the trees. All the villagers were happy on this relief. Tico's father lifts him onto his shoulders, beaming with pride. One bright summer afternoon, Tico, a curious boy, stumbled upon a tiny glowing doorway nestled in the roots of a tree. Intrigued, he knocked, and in the blink of an eye, whoosh, Tico shrank to the size of a pebble. Tico found himself in Teneria, a beautiful land of the tiny people. They were no taller than his thumb, with shimmering wings and leaf outfits. Tico was mesmerized to see this land of tiny people and tiny houses. He met the tiny people with shimmering wings, who were baking a magnificent cake and a special tea in a giant teapot. He enjoyed the feast with the tiny people. Tico grew back to his normal size and waved goodbye to his tiny friends. He was very happy and mesmerized with his adventure on the land of tiny people. Once upon a time, a beautiful fairy named Lira was passing through a jungle. She came across a very beautiful yet enchanting orange garden. When she sees those giant juicy oranges, she wanted to taste them. She plucks an orange and eats it. All of a sudden, a wicked witch appears. "What are you doing in my garden? Why are you eating my oranges without my permission?" the witch asked furiously. Lira apologizes, but the witch refuses to forgive and says, "Now I will punish you for this." In the glimpse of an eye, a sky-high tower begins to form in the heart of that magical jungle. The witch imprisons Lira in the tower and takes away her swings. Every day, she would say, "Lira, let down your long golden hair." Witch, angrily, "You must never speak to anyone. Do you understand?" One day, a handsome prince on his horse arrives in the glowing jungle. He marvels at the vibrant, magical landscape. Then, his eyes fall on the mysterious tower. Hiding behind a massive tree, the prince watches as the witch climbs down, using the Lira's golden hair. Determined, he waits for the witch to leave before stepping forward. The prince stands at the base of the tower and calls up, "Prince, Lira, let down your golden hair." The prince climbs up. Inside the chamber, the prince and Lira sit by the window. Lira, teary-eyed, tells him her story. "Prince, gently, I will return tomorrow and take you away from here." He leaves but unknowingly forgets his royal blue hat on the table. The next morning, the witch enters the chamber and spots the prince's hat. She uses dark magic to reveal the truth. The prince bursts into the chamber, ready to rescue the princess. "Witch, you think you can take her? Foolish boy." The witch casts a powerful spell, and before the prince can react, he is lifted into the air. His body shimmers and shrinks until he turns into a stunning golden comb. That night, Lira sits by the window, cradling the golden comb. Her sorrow turns into determination. She prepares the witch's favorite soup, adding a deadly poison. The next morning, Lira offers the witch the poisoned soup. The witch greedily drinks it. Moments later, she gasps, clutching her throat. Dark energy crackles around her as she lets out a final blood-curdling scream. The tower begins to shake, cracks forming along the walls. The golden comb glows and transforms back into the prince. The prince and Lira embrace, surrounded by magical fruits and flowers. "Prince, softly, you are finally free." Tears of joy in her eyes. The prince marries Lira, and they lived happily hereafter. One day, a beautiful young girl, Mira, with long, beautiful golden hair, was plucking flowers from a garden. An old woman with a frail frame and weary eyes approached her. "My dear, could you spare me some food?" She rushed inside the house, brought fresh bread, fruit, and a cool drink, and offered it to the old woman with great respect. The old woman's eyes twinkled with gratitude. "May kindness always follow you. As a reward, I bless you. Whenever you speak, gold, diamonds, pearls, and flowers shall fall from your lips." Mira thanked the old woman and went back inside. As soon as she spoke to her mother, sparkling gold, shimmering diamonds, dazzling pearls, and fragrant flowers tumbled out of her mouth. Her mother gasped in amazement. "What is this magic? Where did you get this power?" she demanded. Mira explained everything. The greedy mother's eyes gleamed with excitement. The next morning, she sent her elder daughter Lila to the garden. But Lila wrinkled her nose in disgust. "Why should I give you my food? You are just a poor beggar. Go away and don't waste my time." The old woman's face fell, and she sighed. "You have a heart as cold as stone. As a punishment, I curse you. Whenever you speak, filthy rats shall fall from your mouth." Lila scoffed and stormed back home. The moment she opened her mouth to complain to her mother, ugly rats scurried out onto the floor. The mother shrieked in horror. "This is your fault," she yelled at her younger daughter. "You gave the wrong information and tricked your sister." In her anger, she grabbed her kind-hearted daughter and threw her out of the house. Heartbroken and alone, Mira wandered into the forest. She sat beneath a tree, crying. Just then, a handsome prince, who was passing by, saw her tears glistening like diamonds. He approached her gently. "Why are you crying, fair maiden?" Mira hesitated, but as she spoke, gold, diamonds, pearls, and flowers once again spilled from her lips. The prince was astonished. Such beauty and kindness should never go unnoticed. "Come with me to my castle." He took her to his palace, where they soon married in a grand celebration. She became a beloved queen, and they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, a beautiful princess with long, beautiful golden hair lived in a beautiful castle with a king and a queen. She was very beautiful, but she had unusually big, ugly feet. The princess hated her feet. She used to cry on her ugly feet, and her mom always told her not to be sad on it. The princess accompanies the king for the journey to jungle. As they go deep inside the jungle, she gets mesmerized by the eternal beauty of nature. She sees a glowing watermelon garden. Out of curiosity, she plucks a glowing watermelon and eats it. All of a sudden, a sorcerer appears. He gets very furious of Princess eating his watermelon from. He casts his spell and transforms the princess into a watermelon. One night, a prince goes astray in the jungle. He reaches the watermelon garden. He was amazed to see a big watermelon glowing in the center of the garden. He goes closer to the glowing watermelon and touches it. A gentle voice comes out. "Please let me out from here." A rainbow-color maple bird talks to Prince and tells him about the story that he tells the prince, "I can take you to the sorcerer's castle. There is only one way to defeat him. You have to kill the parrot who is locked into the golden cage." The bird takes the prince to the crystal castle of the sorcerer. The sorcerer was very clever. The prince asks him to release the princess, but he refuses and asks the prince to fight with him. If he wins, he can free the princess. The rainbow bird spots the parrot locked in the cage. The prince quickly runs to the cage, takes out the parrot, and twists his neck. The parrot dies instantly, and as a result of this, the sorcerer also burns into ashes. The princess transforms into her original form. But when she sees her ugly feet again, she becomes sad. The prince asks, "What's bothering you now?" "Princess, I wish the magic would have turned my big feet into beautiful ones." The prince laughs and says, "I was actually looking for a bride with big feet. Will you marry me?" The princess agrees. The prince takes the princess to her castle, where she reunites with her parents. After a few days, both the prince and princess get married with a grand celebration in the castle, and they lived happily hereafter. Once upon a time, there were 3 sisters who were living in a small cottage in a deep jungle with their parents. Rose, the youngest one, was the most beautiful among all the sisters. She was very kind-hearted, polite, and helping. One day, their father sets up for a far-off journey to the deep jungle. On asking, both elder daughters demand for different gifts. But Rose says, "I don't need anything, Father. Just come back safely." "Father, are you sure?" Rose, "Yes, but if you find a red rose, bring it back for me." The man is lost in the forest. He stumbles upon a grand mansion with open doors. He steps inside cautiously and is greeted by the sight of a large, delicious feast laid out on a table. He sits down and begins eating hungrily. After finishing the meal, he notices a cozy bedroom and, feeling exhausted, lies down to sleep. Next morning, the man wakes up and leaves the mansion. He walks outside and is amazed to find a garden full of red roses. He picks one large, beautiful rose. Suddenly, a loud, angry growl echoes through the garden. The beast appears. Beast, what are you doing? You dare take my roses? Father, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted a rose for my daughter. Beast, angrily, you will be punished for this. The beast locks the man in a golden cage in the mansion. Rose, realizing her father hasn't returned, grows anxious. She decides to search for him and follows the path into the forest. She eventually finds the mansion and sees her father's horse outside. She enters the mansion and finds her father locked in the golden cage. She requests the beast to let her father go away, and she will do whatever he will say. Beast, I can let your father free only one condition. You have to stay here for 1 year. After that, I will let you free as well. Rose agrees to it. Rose takes care of the beast for days, cleaning his bedroom, preparing meals, and offering him care. One day, when she comes back from grocery shipping, she finds the beast lying in the rose garden, looking sad. Rose, concerned, what's wrong? Beast, sadly, when you leave, I will be alone again. I don't want to be alone. I will miss you more than you know. Rose beside the beast in the garden, her heart aching. As she looks at him with compassion, a tear falls from her eye and lands on the beast's fur. Suddenly, a magical transformation begins. The beast's fur fades away, and he becomes a handsome prince dressed in fine clothes. The prince, now standing before her, smiles with gratitude. Prince, softly, thank you. Your kindness broke the curse. The prince marries Rose, and they live happily hereafter. Deep in the heart of the jungle, a curious boy named Kai roamed free, his only companions the creatures of the wild. One day, near a waterfall, he found a tiny lost lamb with snow-white fur and frightened eyes. Kai, you're lost, aren't you? I'll help you find your family. Kai and Luna became inseparable, racing through meadows, splashing in streams, and playing with jungle creatures. Tico, laughing, catch me if you can. A mischievous monkey, Tico, led them on a wild chase, but a wise old turtle taught Kai an important lesson. Turtle, the jungle repays kindness. One night, danger struck. A jaguar lurked nearby. Thinking fast, Kai tossed glowing fireflies, startling the predator. At last, they found a valley where Luna's family waited. She ran to them, then paused, eyes full of love. Kai kneels, hugging Luna Kai softly. You'll always be my jungle friend. Luna joins. Her herd, Kai smiles. Their bond would live forever. In a cozy room filled with twinkling fairy lights, Lily, a young adventurer in a shimmering cape, discovers an ancient storybook. As she opens it, the pages glow and whisper secrets of a hidden crystal castle in the enchanted forest. Storybook, gentle, mysterious voice. Lily, the crystal castle of Everdream, awaits your courage and curiosity. Lily steps into the forest. Talking rabbit and luminous butterflies greet her warmly. Lily meets Orion, a wise old owl, and Glimmer, a playful fairy. Orion, calmly. To find the castle, solve this riddle. I reflect what is true, yet hold secrets anew. What am I? At a mirror-like pond, Lily realizes the answer. The pond reflects truth, revealing a hidden glowing path under the moonlit sky. Lily, excited, it's the pond. The path is unlocked. The magnificent crystal castle appears. The massive doors open, and magical creatures gather to celebrate. Lily had found the legendary castle through her courage and curiosity. In the grand hall, sparkling chandeliers and music fill the air. Magical beings celebrate Lily's arrival with laughter and confetti. She steps forward, ready for new adventures. Once upon a time, a cute little boy went to see Mango Orchard with his mommy and granny. He was mesmerized to see lush mango trees laden with ripe mango fruit. He wanted to eat lots of juicy mangoes. Despite that his mommy told him to eat in moderation, he ate so many that his stomach ached. That night, he dreamt that a big mango tree is growing inside him. He was scared to see that the tree is getting bigger and bigger. The tree's branches wrap around him gently, the weight causing him to hunch slightly. He tries to move, but the tree is now an integral part of him. He woke up suddenly, clutching his stomach in fear, realizing it was just a dream. From then on, he enjoyed mangoes in moderation, understanding that excess of everything is bad. He learned that balance brings happiness. One evening, Tico and his talking cat, Tom, discovered a glowing hidden path in the backyard. Tom, Tico, look, let's follow it. Tico, I have a feeling this leads to something magical. They entered a magical jungle filled with glowing trees and singing flowers. In a moonlit clearing, Tico found a shimmering golden flower and touched it. A beautiful pink fairy appears. Fairy, you've awakened the flower of wishes. What do you desire? Tico, I want to fly on a magic carpet with Tom. In a swirl of stardust, a magic carpet appeared. Tico and Tom soared through the night sky, past floating islands, glowing rivers, and candy-like clouds. The carpet landed at a magnificent cake house with chocolate walls, marshmallow roofs, and a table filled with delicious treats. Tico and Tom, wow, let's eat. Tico and Tom enjoyed chocolate and delicious donuts. After a joyful feast, the fairy gifted Tico a glowing star-shaped charm. With full hearts and happy smiles, Tico and Tom soared home, dreaming of their next magical adventure.
On a cold winter afternoon, a little boy, Tico, bundled in his coat and scarf, trudged through the snow to buy oranges from the store for his mom's birthday cake. On the way back to home, Tico gets so exhausted and tired walking in the snowy cold weather while carrying a heavy bag of oranges. All of a sudden, his foot slips from a snowy patch and he falls down with the oranges.
Aww.
He gets so exhausted on his fall that he sits on the snow in sadness. But when Tom reminds him of his mom's birthday cake, Tico determinedly gets up and collects all the scattered oranges with Tom and goes home. When they reach home, they tell Tico's mom about the fall, and they all laugh. In the evening, Tico gives his mom a handmade birthday card, and they all celebrate the birthday happily.
In a small village, there was a warm, cozy bakery filled with the smell of fresh bread and yummy pastries. One fine morning, Bernard, a plump, middle-aged baker with a round face, rosy cheeks, was busy making delicious bread. But Bernard doesn't know that Scamp, a gray, tiny mouse, is hiding, watching him. Scamp, whispering, "Those croissants look so tasty." Scamp quietly scurries toward the croissants. Bernard, "Hey, get away from my pastries, you little mouse." Bernard chases Scamp into the pantry. Bernard, "I'll catch you this time." But Bernard slips on some spilled oil and falls. A crate of red, ripe tomatoes above him tips over and falls on his head. Bernard, "Oh no." Scamp watches from a corner, giggling. Bernard sits up covered in tomatoes, moves in a funny manner. Bernard, I guess you win this time, Scamp. From that day on, Bernard always shared a little treat with Scamp, and they became good friends.